my background is I'm from Chicago, and I know I'm not going to get applause because no one in here is from Chicago.
I am.
I'm from Chicago, and it's a blessing to be in Los Angeles because Chicago is a very rough town. It's a very rough city. It's very cold in the winter. It's very hot in the summer. It's brutal. Mosquitoes eat you up. In the wintertime, you get frostbite. So I'm happy to be in California. I smile every day because this is a beautiful place to be in, okay? My background, I started, my mom was a designer, or she was a bootleg designer, okay? I'll put it that way. And if you know what bootleg is, she was really a seamstress. That's what it was. But I started as a little girl as a model. And that's my background. I've traveled the world as a professional model. I worked for a magazine called Ebony Magazine. Most of you don't know. I was an Ebony Fashion Fair model. I mean, anyone who's probably over 35, 40 would know what Ebony Fashion Fair model. Yeah. Mr. Johnson was the #1 publisher in the world. He had a magazine called Jet and Ebony Magazine. And so if your parents had those magazines, I was all through them. Wow. And so that was my background. And so I started in fashion as a model. I toured all over the world. I've been in every stage, auditorium, known to man. And I moved to New York and really became a professional model. I worked for Essence Magazine. I worked for Bob Mackie, Halston, all the major designers on 7th Avenue. And I had a boyfriend that was in the music industry. His sister was a famous Shaka Khan. Okay, so have you ever heard of Shaka? Anybody know? I think I love you. You know her? Okay, anyway. So that was my boyfriend's sister. Okay, and so I would hear what's going on in the music industry. So as he was producing songs, one of the songs he wrote was The Butt. Spike Lee, have you heard that song? Okay. I said, why are you writing butt songs? But anyway, that song became a hit. I hear it in the radio, in elevators. I hear it now. My name is in there, Tanya. If you hear Tanya, that's in that song too. Tanya, okay. Anyway, so you guys are too young about that to know about that. Right?
They're going to YouTube it right
now. Right. EU did the song, but the interesting thing as a professional model, I was around the music industry as the hip hop was bubbling. Okay, so this is real important. Why I have to tell you about the fashion industry. Even though I worked in Paris and Rome and London, my boyfriend, he's in the studio with people like Sean Puffy Combs.
Oh my gosh.
Who at the time was an intern. So when I come to the studio because I wanted to eat, but the guy who was ordering my sandwich was Diddy.
No way.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I want, because here as a model, you're looking for a little, you know, that's why I'm here to actually talk about poverty. So anyway, that's the whole point. And the thing is those people that I saw in those recording studios are now, Mary J. Blige was in there, Missy Elliott was in there.
Oh my God.
They were all in the studio. This is before they had the lashes, the makeup. They were just regular individuals like you guys are. People are. And so they were in there grinding in New York City. So I started a company based on that called Creative Image. And from Creative Image, I was young, didn't know what I was doing. All I knew is that I got a bad situation because New York City is very expensive to live in, and I had to pay my rent. So, and at that time, African American models are not working like that. So it was very difficult. I would go up every day and go on auditions. They were like, well, you're cute, but you're just not dark enough. You're cute, but you're not light enough. Your hair is not right. You're too thick. You're too this. You have a gap. So all the negatives I was getting every single day of my life. And so sometimes that can affect you. So you have to mentally know how to deal with life and be happy about it and not wear that negativity on you. So from there, I started a company called Creative Image, and guess who my first client was? A group called Guy. Have you guys heard of them? Groovy? No? Okay. I gotta know this stuff. This is history. They know. So this group, believe me, the producer, the director who called me, Reggie Hullin, you don't know his name, but Reggie Hullin produced the Oscars this year. Okay? These are people now that are producing the Oscars, producing all types of major things, but they were all up and coming just like I was up and coming. I started a company called Creative Image, and just to make a long story short, I worked with Tupac, Ice Cube, LL Cool J, Mary J. Blige, I mean, you name it, Boys to Men, TLC, the Waterfall video, I casted that video. These were all up-and-coming people. They were not known, so when I would meet them, like Robert Kelly, I didn't know who he was. That's R. Kelly now. So these are the people that I end up creating a business from knowing fashion. I was a makeup artist. I would do the casting, so I would put each and every kid I would see into videos. I did movies like House Party, 1, 2, and 3. You heard the movie Boys in the Hood? So I did the casting for that, all the people that were shooting. I was the one that put all of the little gangbangers that look like gangbangers. They might have been, but I don't know if they were or not. I wasn't sure. So I put them in the video, into the movies. And so from those careers, we started. So now, currently, I've directed and produced music videos as well. I've also negotiated $2 million in publishing recording contracts. So anybody has talent, Sony, Columbia, all those record companies are looking for talented writers and songwriters. I manage a group called Bone Thugs and Harmony. You guys have heard of them? First of the month. Okay, you guys heard of them? I got him a major recording contract, publishing deal. Publishing is different than recording contract. And so currently what I do now, I run a hip-hop magazine called Rap Pages TV. And I'm here to talk about property, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today too. Okay, that's me.
Okay, my name is Stephen Howell. I work with Tanya, and we don't do the same work, but we collaborate on some things. And I came from poverty. And I'll say on my mom's side, I came from poverty. On my dad's side, you know, we have two different parents. One lives middle class, one lives poor. So I grew up for the first 13 years of my life pretty much poor. Then I moved with my dad, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm big time. We can go to, like, you know, the Olive Garden. So that was pretty cool. So what I decided to do early in my life, I wanted to be a part of law enforcement. I was like, I want to go out there and run and jump. I don't tell these stories about, oh, I just wanted to love and help people. I wanted to run and jump and use the lights and sirens. That's why I became a police officer. That's why I wanted to become a police officer. I don't have these, like, great, I'll just leave it there because we'll break out. Because it kind of grew into where I am now. And before I joined the police department, I was in the Air Force also. And what this professor of nursing did not tell you, she was a trendsetter in her time at becoming a flight nurse. Women in flight nursing, she's probably one of the first women. So she did, that was a shameless plug that she did not give herself. So I'm going to give it to her. So I started my career in law enforcement as an explorer, and then I became a cop in the military, and then I became a Los Angeles police officer. And so that is what I am now, and so I'm going to talk to poverty from a personal standpoint, and then poverty as I respond to in the law enforcement world as a calls for service and working at-risk boot camp, and I guess the new word I got to keep up with is underserved. I got to use the proper terminology because people get on you about stuff like that. I'm not that politically correct because I just can't be. I'm real with the people, so I try to use the words when I can, but you know, people don't understand you when you talk like that. So I got to keep it 100. So, and now I'm working on starting my own business and collaborating with others as logistics and planning persons, producing large-scale events. What I learned from the police department. A lot of people think the police department is out giving tickets and going to calls, but we also meet with BET and plan the BET experience, plan the Grammys, plan the Emmys, work with groups like Outfest and say, hey, this is the traffic plan, this is how many officers we need, we're going to shut down this street, do you have this permit, let's get the fire marshal over here, and this is not going to work.
The LAPD was amazing. Yes, I have to tell you. Yes.